Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John. This report is for the 21st of January, and breakout continues, the euphoria for the incoming administration, and you saw everybody get it activated here. We got midterm buyers, long-term buyers, short-term buyers, all DOC, and a complete evacuation of shorts. However, within that, because of the lack of shorts, you've got positive extremes developing, which just means that in the new algo activation, these will be daily retrace levels. So it becomes significant when you think about that from a 37.88 standpoint. We're at 38.50 now and still climbing. Likewise for the NASDAQ, both sets. So exactly the same algo distribution effect taking place across markets. So it's pretty uniform, which is a good thing to know, because then literally when you get those inversion signals to look out, and I think we'll probably see it, well, of course, earliest on the 5K, but the 50K will probably represent it the best from the beginning of any kind of pullback to the mean. From a euro standpoint, well, it's interesting because they're talking about the increase in spending that's being delayed now because so many people want to add into it, which is only going to bolster the euro, despite Europe's clear difficulties, and it's only going to help gold. So I think that we're starting to see across, and more articles about it as well, the broad inflationary results that are taking place in a variety of things that aren't necessarily measured in core inflation. And that's simply because right now oil prices have still been kept down, but you're seeing this escalating in a lot of other commodity-based products that they don't use. And so that's something to keep an eye on, because we were just talking about that on our Skype chat. The rising price of steel, food, and some of these other things are really starting to elevate quickly. And we'll see if that trend continues. Now, from an intraday, there just wasn't a whole lot to talk about or a whole lot to do, because it was just cyan under red for the most part when you did have a DOC spread. Short life, because you're looking at a steel that's like below the negative 13.5. So as soon as it begins to pop up, you get your new buy signal with the orange dip. And positive extremes, though, galore. So that's an interesting one. You can see how many lines we have filling in here as we go. So all of these intraday lows. Now, the interesting thing about it is some of these are going to be filled intraday, which won't be hard to do. And it was still pretty broad-based and quite effective. The end of day short was probably the most effective, because that filled back to the 38.40 positive extreme from back over here and filled it nicely, and then started a whole new run at the exact same spot. It's inconvenient how they're able to do that. Very effective. It just clears out any little stops. And I would expect at some point to see a stop, right, maybe taking this to the 29. If something goes to the 16, it would be pretty extreme. But at least that would clear out anyone who thinks it could just ride a continuate without having any exposure. They love to do that. It's a Max Payne kind of event that they always look to create. So we'll keep an eye out for that, but overall, market's responding extremely favorable in the sense that it's more about the devaluation of U.S. currency than it is about growth prospects or anything like that. So that remains to be seen. And of course, the new mandates on lockdowns, masks, and things like that, we'll see how much of a negative impact those have on potential growth. Particularly if they're nationwide. As always, though, look for me on Skype chat. Trade well.